Don't you believe me, Mac?
Of course I believe you.
Still think I've met him, don't you, Mac?
Did I say that? I don't believe I did.
I didn't say you said it. I said you're thinking it. I know your mind.
My mind is thinking, maybe, roast beef, wild rice, and perhaps a good salad.
You mean you really believe me?
Of course I do.
How could you possibly believe me?
If the situation were reversed, wouldn't you believe me? If a strange woman wrote a composition and named it after me and sent me flowers and invited us to dinner and I said I didn't know her and never met her, well, what would you think?
You know exactly what I'd think. No wonder I'm riddled with guilt. Completely innocent and riddled with guilt. Listen, Mac. Do you suppose that's blues for Sally Ann?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize you've been ringing the buzzer through what might be my song?
Well, that's because we're here for dinner, and I'm hungry. Sims? 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 Call an ambulance, Sally.
Operator, get an ambulance to 604 North Lombard, apartment 1203.
How is he?
He's unconscious, but his pulse is regular.
Sally?
In here, Mac. Mac, look at this. Why would he keep it?
The scrapbook open?
Just like this.
Maybe that's what he was reading when he was attacked.
But I've never known anybody to keep a scrapbook of bad reviews.
Peter Warlock. Isn't he the critic you read to every Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. He certainly never had a kind word for Buzz Sims.
Wonder why a good musician would keep such bad reviews.
What's that funny look on your face?
And it's signed, affectionately, Sally Ann. I believe you.
RD1, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll send the number over to the DMV. We should have a report in the morning.
Let's find out about the people close to Sims.
Sir,
He's got a girlfriend who calls herself a Baroness. Baroness von Hugo from Milwaukee.
Anyone else?
Well, there's
there's-
his manager, Joe Layton.
Who?
The doctor says there's no need to cancel. We can go ahead as scheduled. And there's still a few choice seats available.
Here comes the commissioner.
Dr. Haley, report to your office, please.
How about a statement, Commissioner?
We've just begun our investigation. Nothing yet.
What about the new piece Buzz is premiering at the concert? Blues for Sally Ann's dedicated to Mrs. McMillan, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but it's not relevant to this case.
Miss McMillan, how well do you know Buzz Sims?
We've never met.
Oh, come on, Mrs. McMillan.
Mrs. McMillan has made her statement. You may use it.
Dr. Allen.
Any further statements will come from my office in
Just
the morning.
make sure you find Buzz's attacker before the concert, Commissioner.
You're a new face.
Joe Layton.
Oh. Well, the police are working on several leads now, but none for publication.
What leads?
You're not listening, Ken. I said none for publication. And no more statements tonight.
I'm not kidding, Commissioner. Buzz Sims is a multi-million-dollar talent. We expect your best men on this case.
This may come as a surprise to you, Mr. Layton, but you don't have to have $1 million talent to get our best men. We use them on every case.
Maybe you better excuse us, baby. I think the commissioner wants to ask me a few questions.
So that's Sally M. Then I keep forgetting. It is a blues.
I hope you'll excuse the Baroness, but then I suppose you're as puzzled at my naming a composition after you as she is.
Well, I don't think I was exactly what she expected. I hope you're not disappointed.
No, not at all. I'm delighted.
What can you tell us about tonight? Any idea who attacked you?
Well, I didn't see anybody, but then I was working. And when I'm working, I'm always alone, no matter who's there.
Not even a glimpse?
No?
Mr. Sims, you have a picture of my wife on your piano.
Yeah?
Would you mind telling me how it got there?
Sure, it came through the mail. Right after my new composition was announced. I assumed you sent it.
No.
Well, that's strange, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Do you know anybody who'd want to kill you?
No?
Ever received a threatening letter?
Quite a few. But then they were all from girls who threatened to kill themselves if I wouldn't marry them.
Then you have no enemies.
I'm not certain I haven't got any enemies, Commissioner, but then I'm not sure I have any friends either.
You know him?
No, but I know who he is. That's Manny Sky. He used to be Buzz's drummer. Why would he be coming to see him?
Why wouldn't he?
Buzz fired him.
You know why?
Nobody does. Manny was a terrific drummer, and supposedly they were really close friends, but Buzz fired him.
And his girlfriend, the Baroness, from Milwaukee? What have you read about her?
Well, she's sort of an over-the-hill groupie who jumps from celebrity to celebrity. She met the Baron while she was in Europe the summer after high school, but she dumped him 6 months later.
And I suppose you know how she met Buzz?
Mm-hmm. On a balcony overlooking a ski slope in Innsbruck during his last concert tour.
It's nice to know that all those hours you spent reading magazines aren't wasted.
Well, if you want the news one... The newspaper office. That's where it came from. It had to be.
What?
That picture on Buzz's piano, it's got to be the one I gave De-Clercq. She loaned it to me again last year when I was chairman of the Arts Bowl. The newspaper needed a picture so quickly, but they never returned it. It's got to be where it came from. I remember I was worried about it because it was signed affectionately Sally M. But the editor said it was all right. He said he could crop out the signature. I'm going to call the newspaper right now. Hello? This is Sally M. Who is this?
Who is this? What kind of a voice?
Well, it was a man's voice, I think. I'm not sure. It was muffled. He said to tell you that if you didn't get out of Buzz Sims' life, that he'd see to it that Blues for Sally M becomes a reality.
Come in.
Mr. Warlock?
I was worried about you, my dear. You're usually so prompt. I was afraid something might have happened to you. You know, I do feel guilty about your driving all this distance.
I enjoy the drive. Wow, is that bright? Let me fix it.
Well, thank you, thank you. Light blindness can be painful. Oh, you'll find a little present on that table.
Mr. Warlock, you've got to stop doing this.
Nonsense. Well, go on, open it.
It's my favorite cologne. But it's too expensive and you shouldn't have done it.
And you're kind enough to drive all the way down here just to read to me? No, it's just a small token of my very, very deep appreciation.
I enjoy reading to you. I read for several other people, you know that, and I don't expect to be paid. Now, you've got to promise me that you're not going to do it again.
Well, I see you're just as lovely as ever this morning. I'm glad there was no reason to worry about you.
Not me. Did you hear about Buzz Sims?
Yes, it was on the radio this morning.
You know, my husband and I were just arriving at his apartment for dinner when it happened.
Did you see the attacker?
Oh, no. Nobody has the slightest idea who did it, least of all Buzz Sims.
Well, perhaps it was a music lover.
Mr. Warlock, that's unkind.
Forgive me, my dear. I didn't realize he was such a friend of yours. There was nothing personal intended. I've never met the man.
No, neither had I until last night. You know, his scrapbook was open to a page of your reviews. I remember how we laughed at the clever way that you phrased them. But they didn't seem so clever last night.
Ah, but we did have fun laughing together, didn't we?
Well, they were witty and literate. They were very cruel.
Not cruel. Objective. I've no doubt that Buzz Sims is a very nice man.
Buzz Sims has talent, Mr. Warlock. I'm not a critic, but I know that much.
I thought we were talking about music, young lady. I didn't say your friend didn't have talent. He's quite talented. But he betrayed that talent. Let's not talk about Buzz Sims. Why don't you go over there and read me my review of last night's Leonard Bernstein concert? I ravaged him. Absolutely ravaged him.
When we got here, the door was unlocked and the room looked exactly like this.
Well, we checked this place out to make sure that robbery wasn't the motive. The tape recorder and the piano are the only two things of value. They're both still here, especially the piano.
What about money?
He says he doesn't keep any. Says that he gets $50 a week from his manager and credit cards.
That's what I do with Sally, except that it hasn't quite worked out.
That's Mrs. McMillan's compact, isn't it, sir?
Yes, Sergeant. We heard voices from the bedroom and a cry for help. This door was locked, so I had to break it in. The tape recorder was playing and the windows open, so whoever it was must have escaped from the balcony.
Police, hold it right there. Look out!
Are you really the police?
That's right. You Manny Sky? Yeah. Give me the tape.
What's on it?
Buzz's latest, Blues for Sally M.
What else?
Nothing, man, just music.
Then why steal it?
I wasn't stealing, I was just borrowing.
You make a habit of breaking into other people's apartments to borrow things?
I didn't realize you'd be there to open the front door for me.
Well, why didn't you stop when I said police?
Because I didn't believe it. I thought you were the bums who attacked Buzz.
Any idea who they were?
The world's full of crazy people.
What about you, Sky? Why did Buzz fire you?
That is something that you'd have to ask Buzz. But if you think I'd kill him because of it, you're just as crazy as the rest of the world.
We better ask you some more questions. Downtown.
How come?
Because we want some answers.
Last evening, I had the misfortune of attending the rock concert at Cornell. You know, Beatles and Total Failure. Where Mr. Buzz
Listen to it.
sings otherwise enthusiastic audience.
I am listening. It's nice. Buzz has written himself a piece of music.
Under the music. Listen to the voice.
Civilized mind.
Voice, what voice? I'm grooving with the music.
Well, groove with the voice. Whose is it?
You any voices, Sergeant?
Of course I do. Isn't that why you took the tape? Isn't that the real reason you wanted it?
The reason I wanted it was to hear the new drummer's solo. They've told me that the new guy's good, but hearing is bleeding.
You know whose voice it is. You're protecting somebody.
Commissioner, I don't hear voices. Too bad about you and the sergeant here.
Officer, get him out of here. And Manny, don't leave town.
Oh, wow. I wish I could stay and hear the drummer's solo. Maybe you'll call me back later, huh?
I don't think we're going to get too far with him.
I don't think we're going to get that far.
You know, Commissioner, maybe you should,
Maybe I should what?
ask Mrs. McMillan to listen to that tape. No offense, sir, but I am a police officer trained to follow leads in their logical order. That's all.
What logical order?
Number 1, Buzz Sims names a composition for Mrs. McMillan. Number 2, her photograph with her signature on it is found in his apartment. Number 3, he sends roses and then invites the two of you to dinner. And number 4, her compact was found there.
And what does your police training tell you?
That there just might possibly be some connection between Buzz Sims and Mrs. McMillan.
Sergeant Enright, my wife happens to be the most honest person I know. When she says she's not withholding information, she's not. As for the photograph, I had it checked out this morning. It was on file at a newspaper office. A man telephoned asking for it, and they gave it to him. As for the compact, I'll check with my wife.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Oh, thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That was DMV, sir. That RD1 license plate belongs to an Arthur Drake of Mill Valley. Guess I'd better find out what his story is, huh?
I don't know how it got there. I didn't even know it was lost.
Well, if you remembered where you lost it, it might help.
Well, I've lost a lot of other compacts, Mac. What makes this one so important? The fact that it was found in a man's apartment?
Oh, I know it was a plant, but if I knew where you lost it, I might have an idea who planted it.
Sure, that's what you're saying, but that's not what you think. You actually believe that I lost this compact in Buzz's apartment and that I knew him.
When are you going to start believing I believe you?
When you start believing me. I suppose you think I made up that whole story about the picture, that I really did give Buzz a picture that was signed affectionately Sally M, and that I lied to you about.
I checked on the photograph this morning. A man called identifying himself as Buzz, asking for the picture, and they mailed it to him.
You checked on it. You checked on me, Mac.
Well, you started to do it yourself last night.
But it's one thing for me to check on me. It's another thing for you to check on me.
I wasn't checking on you. I was checking on a photograph.
But it was a photograph of me. How could you?
Well, it was very simple. All you have to do is pick up the telephone and start dialing.
You checked on me because you were worried. And you were worried because you thought I might be in some kind of jeopardy. I also forgot that this was the compact that you gave me for our anniversary last year. It was kind of dumb. Forgive me?
Forgive him?
Oh, no, not so easy. Make me suffer.
Suffer.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead, suffer. Come on, baby, go, go, go.
Oh, I feel terrible.
Feel better?
Yeah, much. Whatever happened to that engraved money clip that I gave you the same year?
This?
I never would have forgiven you if you lost it. And the year before that pen and pencil set?
These?
And the lighter?
I stopped smoking.
You mean you're telling me you no longer have that beautiful lighter?
I no longer smoke.
You lost it.
No, I
You lost
just
it.
don't remember where I...
You
okay,
lost
I
it.
lost
Aha.
it. Uh-huh.
Got any idea where you might have lost it?
No.
Exactly. It's upstairs in the bureau drawer in the back behind your handkerchiefs.
It used to be. Isn't there anymore.
You mean you really lost it?
Is this 4200 Laurel? Mr. Arthur Drake?
Yes.
Police. May I come in?
Sure. What's the trouble? Oh, excuse the way I look. I don't usually walk around like this. But then I'm not usually at home at this time of the day either. You see, I was visiting a client out this way and spilled some coffee on my trousers. My wife's in the kitchen cleaning them right now. What can I do for you?
Mr. Drake, you were observed leaving 604 North Lombard last night at about 8 o'clock. Would you mind telling me what you were doing there?
Well, police, sweetheart.
Yeah? What's he done, officer?
I haven't done anything, sweetheart. He's just asking a few routine questions.
Oh? I'd like to ask a few questions about your routine myself.
I was just inquiring as to his whereabouts yesterday at 8 p.m.
I like you, officer. We think alike. I asked that question when he got home at 8:30.
Your car was seen leaving the address at exactly 8:05 p.m.
It wasn't 604 North Lombard by any chance, was it, officer? That's where she lives.
She?
Louise Montgomery by name. Maybe with you here, we can get the truth out of him. Have you been seeing that cheap Tootsie again? Oh, no wonder you look so wrinkled all the time. I'm grounding you, Buster. No more pants for a week.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, at least give me my car keys. I gotta get to work.
Take a taxi.
Correct, Commissioner. Angle is not right at all.
Come here. Sims had to be facing the one who stabbed him. And he had to see who it was.
Then he lied to us. He must be protecting someone.
Well, if he lied about this, what else is he lying about?
Well, obviously, Mrs. McMillan. I mean, about all the evidence that indicated that he knew her.
You better check out Hardy One's alibi.
Yes, sir. I'm on my way. Commissioner, I hope I didn't offend you about Mrs. McMillan.
Not at all. In fact, you were right about her.
I was?
She is involved in this case. She just doesn't know how or why. What I can't figure out is the reason why. I mean, what could anybody hope to gain by involving Sally?
Well, I could have sworn that was where I bought it.
Why don't you ask the commissioner where you bought it? He's so big with the questions.
I can't ask him. I want to surprise him. And I'm not going to stop until I find it. He really loved that lighter.
Yeah? You don't think he was trying to tell you something when he lost it, do you?
He lost it because he quit smoking.
Oh. Well, then how come... Oh, never mind.
Anyway, I'm not buying it so much for the gift, but more for the sentiment.
Oh, I see. You're buying him another one so you keep reminding him he lost it. Clever girl. Keep him feeling guilty.
Mildred, I hope you don't mind my saying this, but you give the worst marriage advice I'd ever heard.
I think I mind your saying it.
How about some ice cream, my treat?
Okay, Mrs. McMillan, but it's my turn to buy.
Okay.
You know, on second thought, I think I like your treat better.
Don't you love that view? That's one of Buzz's tunes.
Oh, yeah?
Isn't that the cutest little monkey?
Yeah.
Hi there. Here you go. Here's another one. Take the nickel. Come on. She's under. She's help me. Somebody do something. Help me. Somebody get a rope. Get a rope. Somebody's crazy. Help. The current's got her. It's taking her.
Let me through the rope.
That won't reach her. It's not long enough. Please get another one.
Hey, there's someone over there in the water.
Help.
Hurry up, Don. Looks like she's in trouble.
What's that over there, a shark?
Lady, that's a boy.
Oh, it looks grown up to me. Help me. That boat's gonna hit her.
That boat's gonna save her. Here, grab this life preserver.
I can't reach it.
All right, hold on. I'll get you another one.
Oh, she's got it. Keep your head high, Mrs. McMillan. High!
Here, give me your hand. Easy does it, lady. Well, take it easy, lady.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a million. They were a lot of help.
I hate to mention it, Mrs. McMillan, but you lost a shoe, right?
I think we'll go back and look for it later, Mildred. Take it easy. Take it easy. Oh.
What happened, honey? Testing the water?
Yes, I'm here every day at 10 and 4.
Listen, shouldn't I find a phone? I mean, call a commissioner or something?
We'll call when we get home.
Buzz.
Thanks. Okay, fellas, let's take it from the top again, huh?
First, a couple of questions.
Oh. Can't they wait, Commissioner? I've got a concert tomorrow night. A lot of lost time to make up.
2 questions, Buzz, that's all.
Take 5, guys. Okay. What can't wait?
The tape you were playing last night, Buzz, what was on it before you recorded blues for Sally M?
I don't remember. Didn't erase properly. Have to have that head fixed.
Whose voice is that?
I don't recognize it, but whoever it is, it can't be very important. Otherwise, I wouldn't record it over it. Why?
Man, this guy broke into your apartment this morning and tried to steal it. Why would he want it?
I haven't the faintest idea. What'd he say?
He wouldn't say anything. Do you think he could have been the one who attacked you?
Manny? Oh, no. Oh, Manny's a friend of mine. We've been friends for years.
Friendship didn't keep you from firing him. Why did you fire him? I thought Manny's guy was the best.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid was is right, but I can't go into that. What goes on in this group stays here.
Where'd you get this?
I've never seen it before.
It was found in your desk drawer. Some chick probably left it there during a party. Why does it matter? Because it belongs to my wife.
Oh, man. I can see where your head's at. Hey, Commissioner, you gotta believe this. There's nothing between me and your wife.
All I want is some hot tea. That's all I want.
I'm gonna lace a little. You need it. You'll love it.
Of course I still see Manny. Just because Buzz fired him doesn't make him my enemy. I've got plenty of my own. But Manny's not one of them. And neither is Buzz.
Why did Buzz fire him?
You know, Commissioner, if I were as bad at my job as you are at yours, I'd be out of business. What have you got? 2 suspects, Manny and me? Has it come to that, Commish?
I asked you why Buzz fired Manny.
Who knows with artists? Didn't you ever hear about temperament? Maybe one day Buzz decided he didn't like the way Manny brushed his hair or combed his teeth. Plenty of reason there for one artist to fire another. But no reason to kill, Commish. I'd offer you one, but I'm sure you don't drink on duty. Me? I always drink on duty. How else could I put up with him?
I take it you don't have too much respect for artists.
Did you ever know a babysitter who had respect for the babies? But it pays well.
And bugs you.
Only when it rains. Because I know, you see, that he'd be nothing without me.
I wonder if the Baroness agrees.
That dame should have stayed in Milwaukee and led the kind of life she was meant to lead. Beer and babies.
What bugs you there? Buzz has her and you don't?
Nobody has the Baroness. She likes names, as long as they are names. And right now, Buzz is.
And you're not.
Listen, nobody ever knows the names of the people who make the stars. There are 1 million kids with enough talent to make it, if they're lucky enough to connect with a Joe Layton.
I get the impression that you don't like anybody.
Commissioner, you're perceptive. Perceptive enough, I hope, to also realize that I didn't stab him.
But you did get a kick out of it. I'll bet you even enjoy Peter Warlock's reviews.
It's always nice to know that being one of the beautiful people doesn't keep you from getting hurt.
And you're quite a beauty yourself, you know that? And if you're worried about what to do with that body after you're gone, don't forget the hard fun.
Yes? It's for you.
What?
Commissioner, we just had a call. Your wife's had an accident.
At first, I thought that falling off the pier might have been an accident.
She was pushed, Commissioner, if not by the monkey, by the monkey's friend.
Then when we came home and we saw all this, I knew there had to be some kind of a connection.
Where were you during all this, Mildred?
I was shopping with your wife. Lucky, huh?
Mac, what am I going to do about clothes now?
What about mine?
She can't wear your clothes.
Were they shredded too?
No, just mine.
Lucky, huh?
Mac, you wouldn't be making light of this if it weren't more serious than I thought.
Hello?
Commissioner, this is Matty Sky.
I think it's about time we had a talk. Can you come to my apartment right away?
Yeah, where do you live?
309 East Fillmore, apartment C.
Right, I'll be right there. I'll have somebody come from the lab and check this out. Maybe they can find a clue as to who did it.
Oh, we know who did it.
You do?
We think it might have been the Baroness.
Who but a woman would shred another woman's clothes?
Especially the dress I was going to wear to the concert tonight.
That's Buzz Sims, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, don't touch Sims. That's the greatest, isn't he?
How well do you know him?
Well, he's the reason I moved here.
Oh, well, then you're friends.
Well, actually, it's more like I'm his fan, you know?
You know him at all?
Well, I haven't actually met him, if you want to get technical. But I see him in the halls, you know, things like that. Well, he's always being followed by those hangers-on. Poor baby.
He was attacked last night in his apartment.
Yeah, I read it in the newspaper.
Where were you last night about 8 o'clock?
Right here.
Was anyone with you?
No, I was alone.
A man was seen leaving this building at 8:05 last night. His name was Arthur Drake. Does that name mean anything to you?
No,
You don't know Arthur Drake?
never heard of him. I'd like to help you, but at 8 o'clock last night, I was in the bathtub.
Well, now, if you don't know Mr. Drake, can you explain why his wife accused him of seeing you again last night? Mentioned you by name, in fact.
She knows me by name? Oh, that bum tells everything.
Then he was with you.
I'm telling you the truth. I was in the bathtub. Only I wasn't alone. Could you get that?
Oh, sure. Hello? Yes, Commissioner.
I'm on my way to Manny Skies. When you're finished there, pick up the Baroness for questioning.
Yes, sir. You painted the phone?
Manny! Operator, this is Commissioner McMillan. Send an ambulance to 309 East Fillmore, apartment C, right away. Talk.
Well, wait, we were paid to shut him up.
Who paid you?
I don't know. I don't even know who he is. Look, mister, I don't know who paid us. We got a call to meet some guy in a bar. When we got there, the bartender tells us to go out in the alley. This guy comes up behind us, tells us not to turn around, and shoves an envelope at us. That's all I know. They don't pay to ask questions in my business.
Well, let me tell you something. You're out of business.
The Baroness appears to have vanished, sir. Most of her clothes are gone, and nobody seems to know where she went.
Well, let's find her. Put out an APB if you have to.
Yes, sir. Now, about that organ grinder, he's legit. Says that a couple of minutes before Mrs. McMillan fell in, a man gave him $5 to play a Buzz Sims tune.
Did he get a good look at the man who pushed her?
Well, he's checking the mug shots right now, sir, but I don't think he has a very good memory for faces. I think the monkey's going to be of greater help to us. Seriously. Look, I showed them both the Baroness's picture. Nothing from the organ grinder, but that monkey. I mean, the way he carried on, he's either met the Baroness or he wants to. I don't know why that struck me so funny. How's Mrs. McMillan, sir?
She's out shopping for new clothes. I think she's going to make it. What happened to the license plate?
Dead end. Drake's alibi holds up.
I should think so, with a plate like RD1. Criminal types rarely use their name on license plates.
Is there anything new from the hospital about Manny Sky?
Still in a coma. We found the other hood. Just about as helpful as the first one. Yes?
Commissioner, the Deputy District Attorney to see you.
Send him in.
I gotta go find something to get this off my hand.
Makes snappy reading, doesn't it?
Mac, I want an arrest, and I want it before tomorrow night's concert.
So do I.
You sure?
What does that mean?
It means I wonder just how hard you're trying.
Well, if you have any suggestions as to how I can try harder, don't hesitate to make one.
I have.
Make it.
Try grilling your wife.
There's no connection between my wife and Buzz Sims.
There has to be. All the evidence points to it.
You know, I can see how you lose so many cases.
And all I can see is a police commissioner who's lost his objectivity.
And what have you done with all your objectivity? Reached a conclusion that my wife stabbed a man 6 inches taller than she is, with a downward thrust while facing him so that he had a clear view of her while she was doing it. Then, to really throw us off, she planted her own compact in his apartment with a signed photograph on the piano. Then, being of sound mind and ingenious body, jumped into the bay and shredded all her clothes at the height of the season. Now get out of here. I have work to do.
Mac, you're still trying to protect her. If Buzz Sims had written a composition for any other woman, and both her compact and her picture had been found in his apartment, that woman would be subjected to the most extensive and thorough questioning by the police, no matter how well she explained it to her husband or how much he believed her.
It looks awful.
Oh, it'll be fine. Oh, we'll just take a tuck here and a tuck there, and maybe a little tuck here and a tuck there, and here a tuck, there a tuck, everywhere a tuck.
Mildred, the concert's tonight, you know.
I did my best to get Buzz to delay it.
You don't think anything will happen to him, do you, Mac?
Point is, sitting in the middle of a well-lighted stage, if anybody wanted to take a pot shot at him, there's nothing we could do about it.
Well, why don't you think that he'd listen to you and postpone it?
'Cause money talks even louder than the commissioner. It's a sold-out house tonight.
How do I look? The truth?
Gorgeous. Hello?
Commissioner, Manny Sky's still delirious, but he's talking. Maybe you should stop over here on your way to the concert.
He's going to kill her. He's going to kill her. He's going to kill Buzz.
Who's Guy? Who's gonna kill Buzz?
He's dead. But he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. Dead.
What could he mean by that? He's dead, but he's gonna kill you.
Beats me. Doesn't make any kind of sense, does it?
I hope it doesn't. I asked you before, Buzz, please delay this concert tonight.
Now, look, Commissioner, I appreciate your concern, but I can't walk out of here tonight. I got a whole sold-out house full. Blues for Sally M is too important to postpone. Besides, I've got a feeling I haven't got that much time left.
A few days wouldn't make that much difference to you, and it could be crucial to our investigation.
What if I don't have a few days left? You know how many artists die young?
You know how many live to enjoy their grandchildren?
There's a line around the block waiting for standing room. Critics from every paper in California are here.
What about Peter Warlock?
Warlock's not likely to be here. Buzz, he covers them by radio. You know that.
He's got to be here. He's got to review me tonight.
He doesn't make all that much difference, Buzz. The others are the...
I don't care about the others. There are no others.
I just hope the only thing we have to worry about tonight is a critic.
It's 15 minutes. On stage in 15 minutes, everybody.
Any luck, sir?
No, it's going ahead of schedule, but I've been thinking about the kind of man we're looking for, Sergeant. My wife, Buzz, Manny Sky, 3 attempts, none killed.
You mean he's inept? Well, that's good, isn't it?
Deliberately inept, and he's giving off signals.
You mean he's asking for help? Like that fellow in Chicago wrote on the wall, "Stop me before I kill more"?
That's right, only our man has the grace to say, stop me before I kill. And we gotta find him and give him that help before he gets tired of asking.
A new composition. Blues for Sally M.
Well, I work here. I left my flashlight when they called me to fix the heater.
Well, where is it? Before he comes off.
But he hasn't finished taking his bows yet.
Where is he?
Well, he's still on stage taking bows, isn't he?
No, didn't he come down here?
Where's Sims? The guard says he walked right past him out the stage door. Says there were no orders to stop him.
Lost him already, Commissioner? This is obviously your first Buzz Sims concert. He never takes the encores.
What does he do?
Well, he usually likes to relax after a concert by jamming in North Beach. Well, I read it in a magazine.
Sergeant, you check out Columbus Avenue. I'll take Broadway.
What about me?
Oh, you come with me, my little treasure trivia. Well, we only have one more to make ourselves, Sergeant, so go on home.
Hi, Mac. Hey, it's been a long time.
It has.
Table for you and your friend?
My wife?
Oh, sure, Mac. I get it.
We're looking for Buzz Sims. You know him?
Oh, Buzz, babe. Yeah, he was here a while ago, but you missed him.
How long ago did he leave?
About an hour.
Huh?
About an hour. He jammed a while with the boys, and then he split.
Say where he was going?
Nope.
Was he alone?
Buzz always has a girl with him. Do you know, someday I'm gonna get lucky, and it's gonna be me. Was she a blonde? Honey, I didn't look at her. Just like I'm not looking at you.
Barbara, get it over here!
Okay, I'm coming. No table?
No table.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, it's unfortunate, but I think we've had it. Ready to go home?
Only if you promise to look at me.
Well, it's awfully late, but I promise.
Thank you for making it my night after all, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I set that alarm to come on so we could listen to Peter Warlock's review this morning.
That's a good idea. Let's listen to it.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and music lovers. This is Peter Warlock, greeting you with an earache and a headache. The cause? A gentleman named Buzz Sims. Last night at Concert Hall, Mr. Sims subjected myself and the public to an evening of music that brought disgrace to that sacred hall. Billed as Mr. Sims' first attempt at
Terrible,
serious
don't
music,
say.
it can only be labeled a total failure. It simply was not music. Or more accurately, it would be calculated
You're not going to tape that. It's not even worth listening to.
ignored, and Civilized minds can only shrink from such frenzy. Mr. Sims' following either possesses a tin ear, or like its leader, a genuine contempt for good music. Mr. Sims has managed to attract a following that, I suppose,
On the tape,
either
it's
possesses
Peter
a tin
Warlock's
ear,
voice too,
or
isn't it?
like its leader, a genuine Sims, whose father was a renowned musicologist, has forsaken his naturally inherent
I'll never feel the same about that man again. Where are you going, Mac? We haven't even been to sleep yet.
See Buzz.
We've been looking for Buzz all night. Where do you expect to find him now?
Listening to that review.
Matched in our name. However, she would be completely within her rights if she were to sue for defamation of character. And the court should deal with Mr. Sims as forcefully as they would with any other rapist. Gentlemen and music lovers, this is Peter Warlock, greeting you with...
These are all good. You know that?
And unimportant.
He's the only one that matters. No, he's just one critic. And not a particularly good one at that. Look at the paper he writes for. Circulation, 30,000. That's really going to break your career, isn't it? You've studied music, Buzz. Surely you've read Stravinsky's reviews.
Am I supposed to be comforted because my experience isn't unique? You're in the public eye. How do you react to bad reviews?
Well, pretty good. Now, but then I've had a lot of practice.
With an earache and a headache. The cause, a gentleman named Buzz Sims. Last night...
Why did he hate me?
Mr. Sims subjected myself and the
What did he
public
want from me?
to music that brought disgrace.
He doesn't like anything I ever write. I thought maybe this time.
You can't spend the rest of your life trying to please someone else. A critic? A parent? Whatever you do, it's never enough for them. Because you're doing it, not them.
Billed as Mr. Sims' first attempt at serious music, it can only be labeled a total failure.
Peter Warlock, he's the luckiest accident that ever happened to this rag. You see, we're what you call a shopper.
I thought you called it a throwaway.
Oh, I see you've been around journalism.
Enough to find it a little unusual for a throwaway to have a music.
For a shopper to have.
Shopper to have a music critic.
Yeah, it's kind of classy, huh?
What are Warlock's credentials?
Oh, the best. Look, he writes well and mean. And people like to read someone vitriolic. Look, it sells papers, increases advertising.
And kills talent.
Yeah, how about that?
If he sells so much advertising, why doesn't a larger paper have him?
Oh, he's had offers. But he likes it here. Yeah, he likes his privacy. Anyhow, he's a strange little guy, and I don't like to bug him.
How did you find him?
Oh, he found me. I thought I could use some reviews to fill the spaces between my ads. So I hired this matronly piano teacher. Then I began getting these vindictive letters attacking her reviews from Peter Warlock. I began printing his letters, and I got an immediate response, even from the music world. You know, praising his letters. So I promoted the piano teacher to proofreader, and I hired Warlock as critic. He's doing so good now. He's even got his own radio show. You ever heard it?
Yeah, my wife and I stopped to catch it. Only this morning.
Peter Warlock is not the kind of man that you can just drop in on.
Don't tell me he's more unpleasant in person than he is on paper.
When I think of how darling I used to think he was, it's amazing how much I've changed since that review. We're not driving all the way out there because you think he's a suspect. Critics don't actually kill, man.
Oh, critics kill, all right.
Of course it's no imposition, my dear. It's always such a pleasure to see you. And an unscheduled visit, why, it's like a golden nugget in my day.
We'll try to be brief, Mr. Warlock, but I would like to talk to you a little about your reviews of Buzz Sims' work.
Oh, and has it become illegal to criticize the lack of talent these days, Commissioner?
Buzz Sims is a gifted man, Mr. Warlock. He proved that last night. Your review is unfair.
Yes, I'm sure he's gifted. But he simply failed to display those gifts last night. And it is especially disappointing when you know that Albert Sims Sr. was one of this country's most eminent musicologists and a classical musician of the highest order.
That's Buzz's father.
But the son rejected his father's music in favor of what the world chooses to call pop music. Personally, I find it blasphemous to use the word music to describe that kind of noise at all.
But Buzz has the right to compose what he wants. He doesn't have to do what his father wants, and he certainly doesn't have to do what you want.
And you, young lady, know nothing about music. How dare you encourage him to prostitute his talents? Composing a work as inferior as the one he named for you.
Mac, it's too bright. Mr. Warlock has light blindness.
Sorry, Mr. Warlock.
It's all right. It's the bane of my existence. I'm afraid the blight causes me intense pain. And now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me, I'm afraid I must get some rest.
It was nice of you to let us come. I'm sorry about our disagreement. Will you be all right?
Well, certainly, my dear. Thank you for caring. You're a sweet person. I can understand why any composer would want to write for you. Perhaps someday one will write a proper piece in your honor.
Why did you open those drapes? You knew about his light blindness.
Know about it? Just wanted to be sure.
Check on everything, don't you? Don't you trust anyone?
We're dealing with a potential murderer.
You don't think that I'd drive all that distance twice a week if I didn't know that Peter Warlock was almost blind? He has progressive hemerolopia. They say he might lose his sight completely before the year's over.
McMillan,
We've located the Baroness, sir. We have her at headquarters now.
be there in a half an hour. The Baroness.
Oh, I'm going with you. I've got a few questions
I'm
I'd like to
taking you
ask
home.
her.
Somehow you don't bring out the best in her.
Well, I'd like to bring out the truth in her, like what she's been doing between the time my clothes were slashed until now.
I was on a skiing trip in Aspen.
A little sudden, wasn't it?
My life is a series of last-minute invitations. I'd hoped to make it back in time for Buzz's concert, of course, but I'm rather bad at keeping track of that sort of thing.
You ever considered investing in a watch?
But I do accept gifts, Commissioner.
When did you leave for Aspen?
Just after you saw me at the hospital. When I got back to my apartment, the phone was ringing off the hook. They wanted me to come right then.
Do you expect us to believe that you skip out on your boyfriend while he's in the hospital?
There are better ways to word that, Sergeant. But you don't have to take my word for it. Check with any of my friends at Aspen. That's if they're still at Aspen, of course. By now, they may have left for San Moritz.
Have you ever met any of Buzz Sims' family?
I'm not exactly the kind of a girl you bring home to meet Mama. Or hadn't you noticed, Commissioner? But as a matter of fact, I did have dinner with Buzz and his father one night. A real weirdo, that one.
I'd be interested in knowing the kind of person you call a weirdo.
You're sweet. You know that? Well, for openers, he was barely speaking to Buzz. He didn't approve of Buzz's music, it seems. And we ate by candlelight. Not because it was romantic, but because the old man had weak eyes. Bright lights gave him a headache. And we hadn't finished the first course when he began to rage at me, accused me of ruining Buzz by encouraging his interest in pop music. As if I care what Buzz composes. I'm the girl who put up with blues for Sally M, remember? Shaking that mop of white hair at me, he looked exactly like a shabby Beethoven.
Long white hair?
And a mustache and a beard. Don't they always?
Would you remember where he lives?
He doesn't. He died 3 years ago.
What's the matter, sir?
I want you to go to Peter Warlock's house. Pick him up. If he's not there, find him. I'll pick up Buzz Sims.
Commissioner, your home phone is still busy.
Buzz, don't apologize. No, it wasn't. I considered it a tremendous success. I'm proud that you named it after me. No, I'm not busy. Where are you? Sure, I can come now. You shouldn't be alone when you're in a mood like this. Buzz, I'll be right there.
Thanks. I'll meet you. Central, this is Commissioner McMillan. Get my home again, please.
McMillan residence. Oh, hi, Commissioner. No, you just missed her. Not a minute ago. Oh, she said to the concert hall to see Buzz Sims.
Thank you.
Commissioner? Commissioner? He sure isn't one for chit-chat.
Central, have Sergeant Enright meet me at the concert hall to dispatch 2 available units there immediately.
Warlock, what are you doing here?
You came back to hear the applause again. Isn't that right? Applause for a composition named for you. You probably think you deserve it. For inspiring him.
Mr. Warlock, what's happened? Where's Buzz?
You know what you really deserve?
Buzz?
No use shouting. We're quite alone, my dear. Your friend's dead. I killed him. And now I'm going to kill the person responsible for his tobacco. Just listen to that drivel. And listen to them out there. Nothing. Total silence. No tears, no shouting, nothing. And this, my dear, is your encore.
Oh, Buzz, what have we done to you? Then Buzz actually stabbed himself.
That's right. You see, first the Warlock side fell in love with you, and then the Buzz side couldn't help but do the same.
And that made Warlock hate me for encouraging all the things he hated in Buzz. How could anybody write such cruel reviews of his own work?
We all have our own Warlock side. We're all our own worst critics, aren't we? Buzz just carried it further than we do.
Why didn't anybody see what was happening to him?
Because he was surrounded by people who didn't care enough. Layton, the Baroness. Well, the one person who cared enough was Manny Sky.
Is that why Manny wanted the tape, to protect Buzz?
I think he wanted it to verify his own hunch. You see, he suspected Warlock was Buzz's father, and yet he knew Buzz's father was dead. He got about that far when they nailed him.
And Buzz sent them to stop him.
The Warlock side did. The important thing is that Manny's going to be okay. And it's what he said in his delirium that pointed us on the right track.
Which personality do you think will survive?
It's too soon to say. Composers can live without critics, but critics can't live without composers. Warlock can't survive without Buzz, and yet Buzz has to learn to live without Warlock.
It must be terrible to share your life with an alter ego.
Well, that depends on who it is. Sometimes it's very nice. Wait till you see my encore.